Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube! My name is SeaRaptor, and today we're bringing you a battle report from the deck of Tier 10 Japanese cruiser, Zao. Now this is not a ship, this was actually my first Tier 10 ship, but I don't play her much anymore these days. There's no real reason. I mean, she's aged pretty well for being one of the original Tier 10 cruisers added to the game. She brings a lot of stealth, she brings a nasty, wicked firepower. These 203mm guns have amazing shell velocity, really good arcs, all kinds of good things to bring him, a lot of good reasons to bring this ship. The stealth is but one, of course. Recently, I would say recently, not horribly long ago, she was buffed with 12-kilometer torpedoes, which feels really good, right? Because when you play up the line, you're used to having long-range torpedoes, 10 kilometers. And for a very long time, the better part of 3 years, I believe, Zao's torpedoes were the Japanese F3s that capped out at 8 kilometers. But at some point, I believe sometime last year, they moved her up to 12-kilometer torpedoes, and that has made her, well, it gives her an extra nasty punch. But the reason you bring this ship is the guns. The guns and the stealth allow you to do things that you just wouldn't otherwise get away with in a lot of the Tier 10 heavy cruisers. She is the stealthiest Tier 10 heavy cruiser. Like, unquestionably. Anything else that's this hard to detect is a light cruiser, by which I'm looking at Minotaur, Worcester, essentially, right? The other heavy cruisers, the Henris, the Moskvas, the Hindenburgs, the Venezia, which of course is in testing right now. All of those ships Des Moines, are significantly easier to spot. Des Moines is the closest. Des Moines' detection when you rig her for stealth is like 10 and change, right? Zao is actually under 10 kilometers when fully rigged for stealth. So she's pretty nasty. So we're spawning here on Land of Fire at the extreme western edge of the map. My goal here as I start the game is I want to push up, I want to kind of troll the one line over here. I'm just looking for cheap shots. I'm looking to keep their destroyers out of the cap if we can. Blessedly, this Des Moines is here, but he's already blown his radar a little earlier than I would have preferred. And I'm not sure what this Kiev is doing. He's going to park behind the island and not be useful for a while. You can see here I have RPF, and we've found our RPF target. Now, I have HE in the barrels, which is unfortunate. I'm really wishing I had had AP for that shot. But by the time I swapped over, I would never have gotten it. The good news is that Zao's HE is solid enough. You see there I get an 8K hit. That feels pretty good. Her HE has excellent penetration characteristics. Now, I swapped to the AP, but he's already running away. These aren't going to get anything. Yeah, I get a ricochet. So, I should have just stuck with the HE, realizing that I wasn't going to get much out of that trade that I hadn't already gotten. In the end, though, we just, we throw some HE. We keep throwing the HE as our RPF switches over to this Sovietsky Soyuz, who is closing on the northwestern reaches of the A-cap behind us. This Zao, to his credit, still thinks he's going to get AP on me, and I'm still trying for the AP on him. So, like, we're both playing the game, but at these angles, at these ranges, it ain't happening. So instead, I swapped to the HE, figuring, well, do I wanna take a shot at this Soyuz? I think in the end, it's better if I just go undetected and scoot back to the east a little ways, which is what I start to do here. I'm going to have to show this Soyuz a ton of broadside if I want to run back to the east, and I do want to run back to the east. There's nobody else on the one line but the Zao. The Soyuz is turning in, and as he turns in and his guns look elsewhere, I do take a pot shot because as I duck behind the island, he's not going to have a shot at me. At least he won't. Ah, fire, that's always nice. Now, as I turn back here, I look up and I realize, wait a minute, what is this Tirpitz doing? He can't really think he's going to cap this A-cap by himself, right? But that's how he's driving. So I'm like, all right, well, certainly, we can find ways to discourage this, but I gotta wait for the Kiev to clear before I put these torpedoes downrange. So we launch the torpedoes behind the Kiev as we just continue to pummel this Tirpitz with HE. Zao is a really good ship, but she doesn't take hits from battleships. I mean, she's still a cruiser, right? Now, one of the fun things here is that this corner of the island, the Tirpitz was spotting me, but now that I've broken that line of sight with that little island nook in front of me, He can't even spot me. Ooh, that feels good. Look at that. Look at all that. 7 pins, 5k, another fire. He does put the 2 fires out. And this Kiev is actually moving up to torpedo him as well. Now, at the time, I found this to be a bit questionable. Like, why would you do this? In the end, it works out. He's not gonna eat my torpedoes, which is unfortunate. He sees them coming through. He takes another fire there. I'm continuing to reset him. He thinks he's seen them all, but he turns just in time for all of these Kiev torpedoes to show up. And, well, he's not gonna like the results of that. Still not quite enough to kill him. We do blow one of his torpedo launchers away completely right there, which, as a Tirpitz player, I know that frustration. With no shots on him, I want to continue moving to cover, so we change over to the Soyuz as we spin around this island here, and we do get a fire on the Soyuz, which feels pretty good. Let him burn for a little longer. The Iowa finishes off the Tirpitz, and we're up a ship here with about 6 minutes gone. The Soyuz now acting like he's going to drive into this cap, which he is. He's absolutely going to be on that cap in a few seconds, but he's running out of friends. He's up there. The Buffalo is up there. There's a Zhao and a Lion, way in the back, but that's it. Those 4 ships are all that's left over here. And, well, he's not going to cap this by himself. Now, I am spotted. The Buffalo has me, so I'm like, well, screw it. Let's just get into the war here. But it does mean I have to play a little cagey, vary my speed, turn out here. Otherwise, I mean, these Russian battleship shells will do horrible things to me if I don't stay frosty. We do get another fire. And now I'm switching to the Buffalo, which is a bit of a mistake, I suppose. I probably should have stayed on the Soyuz. I could have gotten one more salvo there. The Lion is taking long-range pot shots at me. Check this out. Look at these shells. Look at, we can't even see this guy. He's so far back. But that's who's shooting at me. But I think I realized later, I decided on shooting at the Buffalo because I wanted to be able to back up this Kiev, right? Like, I wanted to be able to give him the ability to drop off a detection if he wanted. And plus my HE shells at this angle, like, I mean, yeah, look at that. Like, all the fires in the world. I get pens for days. I do have to stay frosty of his AP. Not the only AP on the board I've got to stay frosty of, with the Soyuz continuing to take pot shots. But watch this Soyuz volley. Look at this. 15 clicks and 10 full pens and 2 fires. That guy hates my guts right now. He absolutely is cursing the day that I was born. One of the things they did sometime in the last year with the buffs to the Japanese cruiser accuracy, man, they're snipers, right? They're so much fun to play these ships if you know how to aim. And yeah, I love driving my Zhao. I love driving Miyoko. I don't love driving Ibuki, but I do love driving my Atago. Soyuz down to 3k now. I popped my spotter plane, but well, Musashi ends that conversation. As we go up 2 ships here with 8 minutes gone. So now we've just got to get this Buffalo off the board. I should have switched to AP here, but I didn't really expect him to do this. I didn't expect him to turn in and show broadside to an Iowa, but yeah, that's what he did. So, all right, well, we'll just keep pummeling with the HE and see if we can get him off the board. And, well, I don't. The Kiev does, but still feels good. Up 3 ships now. We still don't own the A-cap, but there's that Zhao there pushing down the 4 line is got to be the next focus target for the team here. I've got 3 battleships plus this Kiev plus me over here. More than capable of finishing this guy off. My spotter plane is still up, but a cruiser at this range, it's not a good sound. Like, not a good. I'm gonna try for it. I don't expect to hit anything. It's just not gonna happen. But the Musashi will take care of that problem for us, which leaves only the Lion way up there on the sea line. He's the only surviving enemy ship on this half of the map. So now I start to kind of, with a 4-ship lead. 9 minutes gone, I start to kick back and kind of assess the tactical situation. Our team on the eastern flank is gone, right? They're down to the Kronstadt, the Gearing, and there's a Mogami in there. And they're basically surrounded. You have a North Carolina, a Yamato, a Harugumo, and a Zhao all over there. The Harugumo alone can probably clean those guys up. You can see on the left-hand side there, the Gearing's health is not the best. And so, like, the Harugumo alone can finish him off. So I decide I'm going to push this direction to help these guys. The Zhao is what really drew me over here. He was who I was expecting to find. The trouble is I pushed up on him too quickly. I swapped to AP in the barrels, but sensing me, of course, now that I'm detected, he immediately turns in, knowing how dangerous I am to him. And so I have to wait. He has to screw up for me to get anything out of this AP salvo. He does a little bit. He gives just a little too much angle here, and I do get a solid salvo and a sit, but he quickly learns his lesson, and that won't be happening again. Again, I've got the AP loaded, but he's going to maintain this angle, and I'm not going to attempt to get that forward turret on him. I'm going to stick with the back 3 turrets here. Getting, you know, decent damage, but I really need to swap to the HE, which is exactly what happens. I have to win this trade here, where the other team is making up ground. We're only up 1 ship now. He's into the cap, which is, of course, why I came back here. I came back here to defend the cap. That's a really solid salvo, about 7k, plus a fire. And now I realize if he's going to show me this angle, I'd only need my stern turrets. Watch this dispersion. Oof, this is going to leave a mark. Yep. Yep. And already, at the 11-minute mark, I've already picked up a Witherer as this Zal burns off the board, thanks to a combination of AP and HE at the right time. So now we're back up to 2 ships again. We have a 2-ship lead, a 1-cap lead, 8.5 minutes to play. We've got an Iowa, and a Vladivostok, and a Kiev all camped around A, trying to finish off that Lion, who did finally manage to bag the Musashi, which, all right, well, feels bad, but I'm not overly shocked. But that Iowa's only on 1600 HP. Surely the next Lion HE salvo is going to finish him off, right? Like, surely that will happen. I don't know, we'll have to see, but the Mogami has finally bought it over in D. That's, again, not surprising, as yes, the Lion does finally finish the Iowa. That Lion has played a really good game. He's been super irritating. I mean, he's only gotten the 1 kill, but just having him up there, his existence has continued to threaten that flank. He's bagged... He was almost at least partly responsible for ending the Musashi, and certainly directly responsible for ending the Iowa. The Vlad is definitely all over him, though. And I'm trying to get the Gearing's attention, right? Like, the Gearing thinks he's going to hold this cap. He cannot hold this cap. He has a Yamato, a North Carolina, and a Harugumo pushing in his face. He needs to leave. He needs to be gone. He needs to smoke and run. The problem is... he's waited too late to do it. He is running, but the Harugumo has him, and that's going to be everything. Between the Harugumo and the battleships, his delay will ultimately cost him his ship. And a game that we once led by 3 ships and 2 caps, they're now going to flip D and have caught up to us on ships. And we're upside down on health, if you believe the team bars. So now we have to find a way to try to salvage a win out of this train wreck. My thinking is the Harugumo doesn't know where I am. He is going to expect to push D, come down, and cap C. So my thinking is this. I'm going to push north, here up the 6 line, to try and keep this island in between he and I as long as possible in order to basically jump him when he comes around the island trying to go for the C cap. The HE salvos on this ship, I can wipe him out in 2 salvos, maybe 3. But at least 2 or 3, right? Like, these shells will just annihilate him, especially. But I have to face spot him, right? I cannot rely... if he outspots me, he'll just spot me until... he'll just, keep spotting me until his battleships behind him blow me off the board. So I have to be close enough that when he comes around the corner, I'm right here, and he's got nowhere to run. I'm dumping the torps kind of preemptively, like, why not? Well, why, we can never know when you might land a lucky torpedo, and it changes things. The Yamato's, you see there, the Yamato's spotter plane pops up, so he's getting close. He was last spotted way in the back there on the 9 line. He's probably at least on the 8 line, if not already in the D cap, based on that plane position. Still waiting, and there he is. My first salvo whacks this guy for 10,000 damage because Zhao Weiqi likes to troll people. The trouble is that he can smoke and I'm still spotted because of the way the detection rules work these days. And his battleships are absolutely going to back him up. And sure enough, I take a Yamato sit. Yay. Might have actually been North Carolina sit, but I took a Citadel from somebody. Now, I have to hold my fire here, right? If I shoot again, if I fish for him in that smoke, he'll spot me in his own smoke. So I have to play the detection game the smart way and stay dark for the moment. Again, I'm banking on him staying in there. I'm leaving him some torpedoes. I have to run south now that the battleships have decided to push through the middle of the map. But I absolutely need to kill this guy. If I don't kill this Harugumo, we are guaranteed to lose this game. He'll come down here, he'll cap C, and we'll never recover. He's out of his smoke now. I'm spotted. Where's he at? There he is. I'm just now picking him up. He's decided to engage me, which, again, I think is a mistake. And, well, he'll probably agree with me the next time I pull the trigger. But for the moment, he's winning this. He's just by the fact that he's spotting me, he's winning this exchange. Because his big fat battleships to the north still get to say. Yep, 10k from somebody, and he fires just enough shells to kill him. Now, if you watched me play this game on stream, and I did play this game on stream, I was raging right about now. I was really torqued off. At the same time, we still have a 150, 160 point lead. We're ticking up caps evenly. The Vlad can get in here. Like, if I'm the Vlad, the best thing he can do now, the south is secure. We can keep them out of 2 caps. All we have to do is live. Now, the Vlad unfortunately has put himself in a position where that's probably not going to happen. So what he has to do now instead is trade well. The North Carolina is showing him a great angle. He needs to be shooting at the North Carolina and then trying for a ram on the Yamato. If he can take one of these ships off the board, that's a big win. And that's what it looks like he's trying to do. He does put a good salvo into the North Carolina. But he's slowing. Is he slowing down? No, he's continuing full speed. Okay, good. Good. No, he slowed. Yeah, see, he slowed down. That was the mistake. The mistake was he slowed down. He absolutely had to keep going full speed. Because now the North Carolina is just going to show him his bow. He's not going to get anything else out of the North Carolina. He needs to show enough bow. The Yamato's fired. He needs to turn to port to show just enough bow to this North Carolina to not get citadeled off the board while he goes for the ram on the Yamato. And, oh, wait, nope. Never mind. We blew that one too. Which leaves the North Carolina and the Yamato against a 1900 point Kiev. Now, the good news is there's only 2.5 minutes left. He's going to cap B. They cannot stop it. They can't possibly get there in time. But if he's spotted, we will lose. The good news is, and I'll save you some trouble, because from here to the end of the game is a lot of us yelling at him in chat and everything. He does his job well. He continues to stay just out of range. Of course, now with the cap advantage, they can't possibly catch us, and we do go on to bag a win. I titled this replay Noble Sacrifice, and the reason for that is because I went into the engagement with the Harugumo, like, not wanting to lose my ship, not intending to lose my ship. But if I had to trade my ship for the Harugumo, given the board position where we were at the moment, that was the correct play for us to win the game. The Harugumo free in our backfield means he's going to cap C, he's going to cap A, and we will eventually lose, right? But if by killing him, by taking him off the board, all the rest of my team has to do is stop dying. And blessedly, this Kiev, to his credit, got the message. Anyway, guys, sometimes dying, trading your ship for a key enemy ship is the right play. Keep that in mind. And hope you enjoyed the replay. Be safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.